Morning, chaps. Friday the 16th of February, and I'm coming down with a cold. So I'm going to do a little shave test, which is what I do, Martin's shave tests. It made it a little bit different today. I'm going to use this, which is My Chang by Gentleman's Grooming, which I don't think I've only, Gentleman's Grooming, I've only used it once, so I've no opinions anyway. Let me just slop a little bit of this on. This is the poor man's pre-shave, which of course I advise to anybody to use. Thank you, Jacques. Dapper Shaves always gives the best advice. That and the fact that most of my comrades on our YouTube channel give very, very good advice, not least of which is of course Gary Hayward, who is a master barber, master shave artist, and of course Devon Jackson, Bill, and of course Leon. I mean, there's so many. I'm very, very, very naughty. I should mention the guys more, but anyway, that's enough for a starter. Let me just quickly say what this is going to be about. It's been an odd week. I've done some silly things. Catching a cold being one of them. The other one being, I thought I'd get some best quality blades for my newly acquired Feather Professional. Now, I don't like shavettes. Who in their right mind would if you've ever shaved properly with a straight razor? But for travel purposes and for testing and comparison purposes, I thought I would. So I got their special cassette come through. But I thought I'd just ordered a box of 20. No, I had a box of 200. What the hell am I going to do with 200 shavette blades? Anyway, be it as it may, it's been an odd week. So, the other test I'm going to do today is to compare something rather special, which is the edge on a hone from absolutely bevel set, all on one stone, which was of course on a decent Belgian coticule. So let me just show you this wonderful beast. This is one of the nastiest, cheapest razors I've ever bought. All it's got on it is a very poorly stamped guarantee solingen. Hasn't even got a maker's name. However, I put this one from bevel set to final finish on water, and I've got to say, it's pretty blinking good. This is about its third shave. All I've needed to do is lightly strop it, and it's a belter. So proving that even a doubtful quality, probably 1950s German deep hollow ground razor on a coticule, well, that's absolute perfection. And this is with lukewarm water. I haven't got my water on properly today. Anyway, that's just a test pass, just to prove its adequacy. And it's absolutely beautiful. The other thing is, of course, a proper razor, this is a 6/8, but a proper razor holds beautifully. The weight, the balance, everything is right. Whereas, sad to say, I haven't yet found that on any other form of razor. So that's absolutely doing a wonderful job. Right, let's just as a comparison go on to something rather special again. Before we get on to the test proper, I just wanted to show you this. This is the lovely Philly 13, but the latest one. This is the one with no address on it at all. So this is like one of the very last ones ever made in Spain by the wonderful Philharmonica Works. And this one from Mr. Johnson up in Stirling came with the most amazing Philharmonica loom strop. Talk about rare. I'd never seen one, never heard of one. I properly coated it this time. It had a very light coating, but this one's a pretty good coating. I actually tried to refresh the edge on this original Philharmonica paste didn't seem to do very much good at all. There is, of course, the plain side. So that was not the greatest success. The most amazing thing is, and this really is amazing, it actually came with a little tiny box of the original dressing, which I have used. However, all I was going to say was, I tried this, didn't work on the Philharmonica loom strop. I then tried it on several others and it didn't work either. Let me show you what did work. This is actually what worked. This is a paddle strop and this has got CBN 0.25 diamond paste on one side and it's got dear old Thiers white stropping paste on the other. That did it instantly. However, here's another little, not a complaint, I'm just showing you my toys. This is the famous Maestro Livi. This is a beautiful loom strop, as you can see. Very, 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 very complicated, very high grade. I tried that and it didn't work. I don't think I had quite enough of the green paste on it. So all I'm saying is, if you have got an edge you're a little bit doubtful of and you don't want to take it back to the stones, which I didn't want to do, I would suggest possibly going to diamond and then Thiers Isard. However, you've got to remember, when you're talking about the real high-end stuff, this Maestro Livi, there's the green paste that comes with it. There's the box. Got a beautiful box. And there, of course, is the loom strop. I'm certain, as Gary has often shown, that it works perfectly well. But today, I decided no, I'm going to go for broke and do a comparison on all of them, including, if I may just briefly show you, there is the chrome oxide, the Crox on a canvas strop, and that did absolutely nothing. Too fine. So, for a very fine touch-up, yes, it works. For something where you want your hanging hair test absolutely perfect before a shave, no. No, you've got to go to something a little more coarse. Though, of course, it could be down to the steel. Who knows? Anyway, I'll just relather and then we'll go mad. I'm going to try the refreshed edge on a loom strop with the Philharmonica 13, and then we're going to do the real comparison, which is going to be my new high-end, supposedly, feather professional blades. Anyway, let's just try, first of all, this Philly 13, which has just been done by me. Let's just see how it feels. Nope, don't like it. Can you hear that dragging? No. Now it could be an issue with the fact it's very late production steel, but I have had a couple of good shaves off it, so I think what I shall do, not try and refresh the edge. I'm going to put this onto a good coticule and give it a good coticule edge, as the other one which we just used. So yeah, it's cutting, but it's dragging, and that's not acceptable. So let's go back just briefly to this cheap Solingen razor with the rather nice scales, which is why I bought it. It's cheap as chips, cheaper than a packet of the bloody feather blades. But anyway, let's just see. Oh, it's infinitely better. Oh, chalk and cheese. Yeah. Oh, it's a very good edge indeed. And this isn't the first shave I've had with it. This is I don't know, about a fourth shave on the same edge. Remember, that's from the raw, bought well second-hand off eBay. Gentleman off eBay, very kind, lives local to me, got it from him. And yeah, that was straight from bevel set, straight to final finish, all on the one coticule. And this is just giving me the perfection of a good, and that's on quite stiff stubble. So now we're going to do it. Right, here we go. Sorry to keep you waiting. Here is supposedly the very top end Feather Professional. And the blade that I used previous to this, well, I think it's a bit of a cheap blade from an online retailer. Yeah, it's crap, absolute rubbish. So let's get rid of that in the prescribed manner. Pinch. Well, theoretically pinch. It should just drop out. Yes, it did. There goes the blade. One of the long blades, which I would describe as being not suitable for anything. However, let's now try this immensely expensive cartridge. Let's see how this works. Oh, I've never used one before. Right, so, look at that. Isn't that clever? There's a little nib on the end of the cartridge box, which goes into the little hole at the end of the razor. And then pinching the razor and sliding, yes, sliding the blade, making sure that it's seated. It's seated about the same depth as the cheap nasty one I just tried. I'm not going to do anything very special because I know some people, wiser than me, I'm sure, have said that you should really try and wipe the blade. But of course, if you wipe a blade on cloth more than a couple of times, you stand a chance of actually hurting the edge. I'm giving a visual inspection on this edge, and it's rough as a bear's backside. You can see the grind marks are all over it. You don't see that when you do your own edge, do you? Anyway, here we go. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, noticeably better than the cheap long blade. God knows where that came from. Well, well, well. Yeah, I've got to say, that's almost as good as a straight razor, which for me is high praise. Let's go for a second pass, because I think this would have done just as well first pass as the straight razor. But let's be certain. Adding a little more water. Keep hydrated, chaps, at all times. Right, keep fingers dry. Even with one of these Chevettes, it's a good idea to have dry fingers. Let's go against the grain. Yeah, it's good. This is the Feather Professional blades. Hate to say it. Yeah, they're good. I don't like the feel of a Chevette. It's just not the same. It's heavy on the nose end. It hasn't got the same balance as a 6/8 straight razor. It just hasn't. I can't judge the angles. Not that I need to. As far as the edge goes, magnificent. Yep. I'm certain that afterwards it'll give the standard manufactured blade slight irritation. I haven't yet tried any shave with a manufactured blade. It doesn't give you a slight irritation afterwards, which you don't get with a natural edge on a straight razor. Or at least you shouldn't. Yeah. So, I'll give this a very high pass mark for a Chevette. And for changing blades, it's magnificent. I mean, who the hell wants to change blades on a so-called Gillette style safety razor, unless you like lacerating yourself. I gave up using my dad's old Gillette double-edged razor when I was about 17, 18, whatever. And that's when you've got only baby boy fuzz and that comes off like that. You get to my age, it's like old grizzled barbed wire. But then you've developed the hand-to-eye coordination to be able to cope with it, as you can see. Yeah. So I would say, yes, unfortunately. If you must use a Chevette, these, I'm going to get some others, but these are the Feather Professional Super 0.310mm 20 blades, and I've got 200 if you need some. It hasn't been a good week. Anyway, that feels actually surprisingly good. I'm going to do a little bit on the neckline just to make sure. All I would say is the balance. No. Once you've used proper straight razors, you can't actually go back to anything else. You know, Fords are very nice cars, but if you've driven a Lamborghini, you're not going to go back to a Ford. And a good straight razor is a Lamborghini. Talking of which, the ultimate in custom Lamborghinis at the moment, Trevor Wolfson. He's in Germany at a wonderful show, and he's setting up his stall today, and he's going to shock the living what's it out of them. His luxury custom razors really are very special. However, as a practiced idiot that is used to using razors, I would say this cheap little fellow, second hand, it was polished up by me. It was slightly rusted, very lightly rusted. Stain is the word I'd use. It was stained. I destroyed its original edge from the last owner, obviously on the buff. This is put onto a decent early-ish coticule, nice yellow coticule from bevel set to water only, stropped, and I haven't looked back since. It's a gorgeous edge. Anyway, I don't want to over-egg coticles because I've also had extraordinarily good shaves of other stones. I would say though, I don't know enough about Japanese natural stones. All I would say is at the moment I'm more into coticles, and again the Laloon stone will go from bevel set to shave ready on one little 4.5 inch stone. To me that's amazing. However, do you know, I'm going to call that a day. As I say, I've got a running nose. It's starting to run. Therefore, you're very lucky not that I'm a driver of particularly long distances. If I was, I would be slightly concerned as to my abilities for later in the day. You know, they do say if you drive with a heavy cold or with the flu, it's exactly the same as drink driving. So don't do it. I might go out tonight if I feel better. My pal Gord and 3 lovely ladies want to go roller disco in Horsham. And that's rather what used to be my forte. However, do you know what? I'm going to just do a touch more here and there. But this was just a tester. Thanks guys. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Thank you for following. I'm always doing crazy experiments. I do comparison tests. That's what my shave channel's about. Anyway, see you all soon. Thanks for watching.